Hey, Old Khakis here, hanging out in the shop today, and I'm smoking an interesting pipe. I'm smoking some haunted bookshop in a old Streamliner. There's actually kind of an interesting story behind this pipe. Whether the story's true or not, that I don't know. Maybe somebody can help me with some history of it. All it says is Streamliner on it. When I was about 25 years old, I knew an old man who was in World War II in the Air Force. He had told me a story, and when he found out that I smoked a pipe, he gave me this pipe. He told me that during World War II in Europe, the pilots of the bombers and probably of many aircraft had a pipe that was one of their favorites, and that pipe just happens to be this Streamliner. The reason being is that the bowl is similar to an aircraft engine. And he told me that everybody wanted one, whether you was a pilot or not. In fact, he worked, I believe, in the rear part of the aircraft. I don't know what he did. He wasn't a pilot. I can't remember what all he had told me. But he said he bought this at that time and smoked this pipe, and that it was a very popular pipe. I'd never heard of Streamliner, and I've never seen one of these pipes since or before. But he was an interesting old gentleman. He was a retired police officer, I believe. When I knew him, he was an old man. He would walk his dog on a leash on the streets in the evening, and we used to talk all the time. And we became friends. And he told me stories of flying on missions and actually smoking this pipe during the wars. He was when I say he was interesting, he was very interesting. He was a fisherman, a hunter, and slightly eccentric. He collected firearms and fishing equipment. If you can picture a two-story house with a wraparound porch in a quiet little neighborhood in a small town, 2 stories, the upstairs bedrooms, in one bedroom was nothing but fishing poles, wall to wall on display, and drawers, banks of drawers of every kind of tackle you can imagine. He collected all tackle and all types of fishing gear. The walls were completely surrounded on all 4 sides with racks of different types of poles. The ceiling there was hanging fly rods. You could walk out of this bedroom into the next bedroom, and it was all firearms, wall to wall. He was a hunter, an avid hunter, and he had every kind of hunting rifle, shotguns. I actually don't remember too much in assault weapons, that kind of stuff, but he had lots of rifles that had scopes, but it was wall to wall. So he was slightly eccentric in his, well, he was in his collections anyway. Some of the stories that he used to tell me were very interesting of the war and such. We were talking one day, and he told me, I didn't know that you pipe smoke. And I said, well, I was 25 years old, so I'm kind of playing around with it. He said, I got a pipe for you. And he gave me this pipe. He's been long gone. But I don't know what's true and what's not true. But I do know, I do believe it is an old pipe and a very unique pipe. If somebody knows something about it and can tell me, please let me know. All it says is Streamliner, Weber, GB Weber Streamliner, and that's all I know of it. In fact, this is the first time I've smoked it in years, maybe 20 years. I hate to say how old I am. I'm in the shop today. I'm all dirty, dusty. I've been sanding, drilling, turning on the lathe. And what I'm doing is I am making pipe tampers and bowl cleaners. And that's going to be a whole nother video, because the wood that I'm using was brought up out of the Gulf from a sunken boat. And me and my son brought that wood up. And I'm going to show in another video exactly how I make these. In fact, I'm going to send them to some people. Let me show you around just a little bit here. And so anyway, thanks for watching my video. And stay tuned to see what I turned some old boat teak brought up out of the Gulf in a shipwreck into. I think you'll enjoy that. Talk to you later. Bye.